Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome to the book report here on the Random Media Guide channel. The book report is a show where I talk about books, books of all kinds, whether they be science fiction, fantasy, thrillers, mysteries, and even nonfiction. My name is Dan. I will be your leader through the world, the land even, of literature. Now, for this review, we are returning to a series we started in our last review. We're returning to Japan, to the region of the three countries. We're returning to the star-crossed lovers. I'm talking about the Tales of Otori. Now, we are picking up where we left off from the first book and the second book. So get ready to check out this one. The Tales of Otori, Book 2, Grass First Pillow by Leanne Hearn. Now, the book picks up right where the last one left off. Kaede and Takeo are basically forced to go their own ways because of circumstances. Because Takeo made a deal with the head of his tribe family, the Kuda, that if he could go rescue Otori Shigeru's body from Iida's castle, that he would go with him. Takeo leaves Terayama with Kenji and Otaro to go to the nearby city of Yamagata, where he's going to learn some of his skills, mainly to basically be hidden from Ori's men, because Ori's annoyed he basically left. They're also going to plan a trip to a northern city called Matsue, and it turns out some of the people going with him to the city, or his basically traveling partners, are Kenji's daughter Yuki and Kotaro's nephew Akio. Now, Akio does not like Takeo for a few reasons. One, he was raised in a different circumstances. Takeo basically was free to roam around as a kid, whereas Akio was basically, trained to master his tribe abilities. Another thing is, Takeo has all the best tribe abilities. I mean, he has secure sleep, he has invisibility and all that sort of stuff. Akio only got one or two abilities, mainly the ability to perceive all that stuff and maybe have super reflexes. So he's jealous. One night when they're still planning, Takeo kind of goes, you know what, I need to stretch my legs. I'm stuck in Kenji's house. He's like, I'm not gonna run away, I just want to go. So he sneaks out in the middle of the night and kind of takes a moonlight stroll through Yamagata. Now during this time he bumps into a leather worker by the name of Jo-an. Now Jo-an is for those of you who don't know, Jo-an is kind of a Japanified version of John. So Jo-an tells Takeo that, listen, back in the early start of summer, my brother had been captured by the Tohan and basically hanging from baskets outside of Yamagata Castle to basically die of exposure because he was a hidden. And Takeo, while he was with Shigeru heading towards the wedding in the first book, he had actually snuck into Yamagata Castle and mercy killed all the hidden, basically saying he couldn't stand their suffering. And while he was slipping away, Jo-an had saw him and thought he was an angel. Like, oh. So he got this nickname called the Angel of Yamagata. Jo-an says, listen, if you ever need anything, come find me at the Outcast Bridge. Like, where's that? He explains where it is. He says, Takeo's like, okay, by the way, get the hell out of here, because the Rise Men like to fuck with people like you because you're an outcast. Basically, because he works with leather and deals dead animals, he's unclean, so they like to troll him. So Takeo gets back to the house, and he was like, you're a freaking idiot. Why did you sneak out? He's like, well, I wasn't gonna leave, I got bored. He's like, okay, fine. You shouldn't be doing that, and we need to start getting ready to go. So Takeo, Kyo, and Yuki get together. They basically put on disguises claiming that they're actors and acrobats. And they head north to a city called Matsue, basically slightly out of the reach of the three countries. While heading up there, Takeo and Yuki kind of become lovers. After, right after Takeo left, Kaede had, woken up from the Kuda sleep and said, you know what, I need to go get what's mine. So she goes to Arise. She said, listen, I'm planning to go back to my my family's domain of Shirakawa, secure everything, see everything's good, and next spring I'm planning to go to Maruyama after I consult with the elders there, the elder council, and just say, listen, I'm taking over as per requested by Lady Maruyama as her last will, that should her and her daughter die, I become the heir. Fresh says, okay, that's good. And during the conference, we find out Rai really pissed at the tribe. You see, he never knew quite whether they're kind of shadow. He just thought they were a guild, and he's really just pissed because they took Takeo away, which he would have been a great asset, because with Takeo on his side and married to Kaede, he would have been able to basically have an easier time dealing with Shigeru's uncles, because most of the clan would have followed Takeo, A, because he was adopted by Shigeru, and B, because he helped avenge Shigeru's death, supposedly. We really know it's Kaede who did it, but he helped end his life honorably. Talk about rooting out the tribe really worries Kaede, because she fears for Shizuka's life, and Shizuka basically confines the same thing to Kaede. Says, yeah, I'm worried. And she said, I feel actually betrayed, because I actually went to watch you under Arai's orders, and not only that, I was his mistress for a while, and I have 2 sons with him, named Zenko and Taku, and because he's now got a legitimate wife from one of the clans, I worry that I might be, taken out, and my sons deemed illegitimate. So after this, they're like, okay, well, we're gonna head to Shirakawa. Then on the way, a few things happen. It turns out Kaede gets morning sickness, and they realize that Takeo knocked her up during that crazy night in Inuyama. And she's like, I'm worried about what my dad will think about the fact I'm knocked up, I don't got a husband, and Shigeru died because of me, the whole curse thing. So don't worry, I got an idea. Shizuka starts spreading a rumor among the escorts that Shigeru and Kaede had a secret marriage done at Terayama, which was witnessed by Lady Maruyama, who died in Inuyama. So they no witnesses. She says that way the kid will be protected by that fact or lie. So they all start calling her Lady Otori. We also find out that their suspicions are right, and that Arai is going to set up an accident to befall Shizuka on the way to Shirakawa. But she's like, don't worry, chill out, Kaede. There's someone in our escort who will protect me. So after they engage in this bandit fight, Kaede finds out the name of the guy who protected Shizuka. His name is Kondo. It turns out Kondo is a member of his half tribe. His dad was tribe, his mom was a samurai, and that he's serving Arai during the battle with the Tohan, and now he serves her. She's like, all right, I'm gonna make you my master at arms when we get back to Shirakawa. So they eventually get back to Shirakawa, and the place is just wrecked. Now, what had happened is Shirakawa basically had one bad day after another. We find this out from Kaede's younger sister, Hana, and I. And I's like, okay, listen. First, we had the typhoons come in and basically wreck the whole area. Then, Mom got really sick and died. And then Arai's and the bunch of the Seishu were marching through our lands towards the east to take on the Tohan. And Father thought, they were betraying Iida and was afraid of the retribution from Iida, so he basically went and fought them and got his ass kicked. And he was going to commit seppuku, but the daughter's like, Dad, we've already lost Mom. It's been a bad year. Please don't die. And this is kind of broken Lord Shirakawa. So he's like, okay, fine. I'm going to go talk to Dad. And he's broken. He's like, look, you're clearly you're cursed because your husband's dead. So Shirakawa's like, actually, there's a kid. And she tells the whole, rumor about Shigeru and Kaede's secret marriage. She's like, oh, that's good. That means potentially I have an heir, because if it's a boy, he will inherit Shirakawa and, possibly Otori lands, who can make a bid, which kind of makes Kaede uncomfortable because she knew that Lady Manayama was carrying Shigeru's actual kid before she died. So she starts talking with her dad. Says, "Listen, I want you to train me in the art of statecraft. Make me, your heir." He's like, "You're my daughter. That's not how it works in Shirakawa, and we should be working on getting you remarried." He's like, I said, "I'm pregnant with Otori's kid. I shouldn't be getting remarried." So eventually, at this point, we meet Lord Fujiwara. Now, Lord Fujiwara is a neighbor, and not like the way we think neighbors. His land's basically neighbor Shirakawa's, and he's a nobleman in exile, and not like how Kaede is noble. No, I'm talking about like he was part of the imperial court of Japan, and he was exiled by some high official who didn't like his writings. So while he's in exile, he's basically built a small estate, and he's kind of very like regal and formal, and it turns out he's a collector. Like not a hoarder, but he would be really into antiquing. He invites Kaede and Lord Shirakawa to a play he's hosting the following full moon. So they go to his house, and they have the play. He's like, "Well, I will be hosting a second play, hopefully within a few days, so don't go. But I'm just waiting for my flute player because this story is all about a flute player." So while she's waiting, she's talking with Suka, and she hears a flute playing, and she goes, "I recognize that flute from Terayama." Now it turns out one of the monks there, Makoto, was a friend of one of the actors and was asked to come, help out with the production. So Lord Fujiwara was like, "Let me introduce you to my guests. We got Lord Shirakawa here, and here's his daughter, Lady Otori." Now Makoto, not have known about the false rumors, like, did you and Takeo get tie the knot? And she was like, "What?" She's like, "Oh no, I'm busted." So she goes home. Her dad follows closely behind and goes, "What the hell's going on?" He's like, "Does it even matter?" He's like, "No, I will kill." So he goes to kill himself, and then he can't do it. He loses his mind and starts attacking. Luckily for her, Kondo and Shizuka appeared and actually had killed Lord Shirakawa by splitting his belly. Kondo turns and goes, "Okay, listen. What you're going to tell everyone is your dad basically finally cracked and killed himself honorably, because where he had hit him, it was right in the belly where you're supposed to do seppuku. So tell him that's what happened. Tell him that he wishes you to inherit the lands. And also make sure you get all the men together and basically confirm that they have your loyalty." She does what he says, and two of the men are like, "Fuck you." And she basically sends Kondo to kill them. After that night, she actually has a miscarriage and goes into a huge fever dream. Fujiwara actually is kind of worried about this because he actually found Kaede quite interesting. So he sends his personal doctor to help her out, and he tells Shizuka, "Listen, I like her. I'm not normally into women." I guess he's gay, but because at the time he married. "If she lives, I want to marry her." At that point, we switch back to Takeo. So Takeo's up in gets to Matsue, and him and Yuki are still doing it. And one day, Yuki's like, "Hey, I got a message from Shizuka that Kaede is kind of really sick, and she might die." He's like, "Oh, damn, that sucks." She's like, "You like her, don't you?" He's like, "Yeah, I really do," which kind of rubs Yuki the wrong way. A few days later, Yuki leaves we're not told exactly why yet. Meanwhile, Takeo is mastering his tribe abilities. He's being sent out on small missions like spying and scouting, even doing things like minor assassin. Like he does mob work. Like he actually went out and killed a guy because he owed the tribe a shit ton of money. So one day, Kotaro pops up and tells him and Akio to come into the next room and says, "Listen, we heard a rumor from Yuki that Shigeru might have actually known that you were who you were, that you were, Kakuta." He's like, "Yeah, so like, why didn't you tell me?" It's like, I actually didn't find out until a little while ago, and B, I was at the time loyal to Shigeru, which still kind of is. Like, well, this is quite problematic. See, if Arai gets a hold of those records, we could be fucked. So I want you to go back to Hagi, go into Shigeru's house, find out if the records are there or where they're at, and take care of them. Like, all right, I'm going back to Hagi. Like, by the way, Akio's like, no. So at that point, he's like, why does he have to go with me? He's like, because I say so. And at that point, he means like, I think this guy killed my dad. So after this kind of bickering, they depart for Hagi. On the way, they stop, and Takeo overhears Akio talking to another Kakura, saying, so let's talk about what's going to happen. So he says, well, turns out Yuki's been knocked up and has Takeo's kid. Hasn't had it yet, but it's been knocked up. And that Takeo is on his last straw. He's on his, and if he fails at this mission, I'm gonna kill him. He's like, I might just kill him anyway. She's like, well, fuck, I'm screwed. So they get to Shigeru's house. Takeo gets past the Nightingale floor that Shigeru had laid out, and goes to talk with Shigeru's steward of the house, Ichiro, who was Takeo's. He's like, listen, I know that Shigeru kept records. Like, yeah, he did. He's like, I'm thinking I'm actually going to take up my Otori inheritance. He's like, good. But the records aren't here. Takeo's like, I think I know where they're at. I think they're at Terayama. Members holding a box. But yeah, so he's like, listen, I'll go meet you there in the spring, and we'll plan from there. So he leaves the house, is jumped by Akio, who he struggles with, and eventually knocks him out with the food to sleep and lets him float in the river. And he starts, heading towards Terayama. Like a few days on his trip, because it's midwinter, so it's still really cold, but there's no snow yet. So he's like freezing his ass off, and he almost passed out when he was rescued by Johan. He's like, holy shit, Johan, you're there. He's like, yeah, I'm here. I told you I'd save your life. You helped out my brother. And he's like, I thought you were dead. Like I thought you had died that night that I left you because Bride's man had come and kicked your ass. Like, no, I was like, he was like, Dave was told, like, God wills it that I help you out. I was like, okay. Hey, listen, I'm taking the outcast spread. So when he gets there, all the leather workers are like, oh my god, is this Otori Takeo, the angel of Yamagata? They're like, yeah, that is him. And they're like, listen, sir, since you're gonna be this powerful lord, will you make sure we're treated right? That we're because we're kind of kicked around. Because Shigeru was good to everyone. I'm hoping you'll do the same favor. Like, yeah, I will. So John's like, okay, we can't go on the main road because that'll take forever. So we're gonna go over the mountain. By the way, on the way, I'm gonna take you to just hear this prophecy that I heard. I was like, what prophecy? Like, I'll show you. So they go to this mountain shrine where there's this woman who basically looks like she's made of stone because she's been in the cave so long. And she tells him a prophecy about him, that he will unite the three lands after 5 battles. 4 of them he'll win, and 1 of them he'll lose. And the only person who can kill him is his son. So afterwards, Joan leads him to these lumberjacks and charcoal makers who tell him how to get over the mountain and which road to take. So they go. So he starts going across the border when he's almost killed by a member of the tribe who out for his blood. He takes out the tribe guy, goes across the river, and goes and stops at a shrine. And it turns out at the shrine, Makoto's there. And Makoto thinks he's a ghost, who's coming to his anger. When he realizes he's just like, oh shit, you're real. He's like, listen, I gotta apologize. It turns out Kaede was carrying your kid, and I freaked her out, and her dad committed suicide because of it. So she basically miscarried. So I feel really bad about it. That's why I'm, in exile, or self-imposed exile. So he's like, listen, I need your help because your family were Otori warriors before you became a monk, and I need help to take shelter at Teriyama. He's like, no problem. I think the abbot will be happy to see you. So they head towards Teriyama, which it starts snowing at that point, and they encounter a Tory warrior in disguise and a Kuda assassin. They take them out, and they're like, well, shit, they really want me dead. So they eventually get to the temple, and Makoto's like, okay, we're gonna take you to see the abbot. So they meet the abbot. He's like I'm glad to see you're here and taking inventory here. And he's like, so while it's winter, well, we're in the winter, we're gonna train you. I'm gonna train you in the art of tactics and in swordsmanship. Like swordsmanship, like yeah. I used to be this before I became, a monk. I was Matsuda Shingen, who was this badass sword master who I think taught Shigeru. He's like, that's so cool. You're like this legend. Like, yeah. He's like, but how am I going to be able to take up my inheritance? I'm pretty sure the Otori lords will claim that my adoption is legitimate. He's like, don't worry, I got some stuff for you. So he sends for the records, and Jato, the sword that Shigeru gave, hand him the sword and says, listen, before you check out all these other records, you got to check this out. So he shows him a genealogy, and it turns out that Takeo is actually Shigeru's biological nephew, and it turns out that Takeo's dad, Isadamu, who was actually the oldest bastard son of Lord Shigemori, so Shigeru's father. So he does have a legitimate bloodline claim to the Otori inheritance. Like, awesome. So Matsuda starts training him in the tactics and stuff. And then we switch over to what happened with Kaede. Now, Kaede is dealing with the aftermath of, her miscarriage. She's also dealing with the fact that there was all this, damage done by the typhoon. And she's like, well, fuck, I'm poor, I got no money. What am I going to do? So the first thing is like, I'm going to contact Maruyama and talk to their council, talk to one of their elders and say I plan to take my claim. That's when they send the elders like, okay, while he basically tells her like, yeah, we'll support you, but there's another trying to claim. Turns out that Lady Maruyama's stepdaughter wants to make a claim, and her husband is one of Iida's cousins. So Iida Nariaki, cousin Iida, wants to claim Maruyama, and the Seishu don't want that, but they're kind of stretched thin with what happened when the Rise conquered in most 3 countries. Say, listen, come in the spring and we'll back your claim. Afterwards, she gets a message from Lord Fujiwara saying, listen, come over, I wanna talk. She has a discussion and says, listen, I have all these cool stories to tell you about my life and stuff, but there's a catch. You have to pay for it. Like, okay, I'll pay for this. So what do you want? It's like, I want money so I can fund my army and food to feed my house. I was like, deal. So she begins learning, and Fujiwara is so under the impression he might marry her. This is a little bit after Takeo had broken with the tribe. She gets a message. Suzuki says, listen, Takeo's left the tribe, and he's probably heading to Teriyama. It's like, yes. It's like, I was already planning to go to Inuyama, where Araya is during decided to make his new capital at. So I'm going to I'll go stop at Teriyama and it's like, don't like, you should marry Fujiwara. He's got more money, and like, I don't want to marry him. They're fine. They lead us to the snow house, and Suka on the way says, listen, before we get to Teriyama, I'm hopping in the split and go to a hidden village above Yamagata where my family's at. I go visit with my sons. Like, that's fine. That you should be fine. One night, like it's the night before they reach Teriyama, Takeo has apparently been hiking through the Yamagata and stuff, checking it out, figuring out tactically. When he sees the horse that he gave Kaede before he left, and he goes, "That's my horse. Kaede's here," and this is the early morning, and she comes out, and he's like, "Kaede, what's up, babe?" And she says, dude, I miss you so much. She's like, listen, you need to send away Shizuka and Kondo. She's like, what? Well, the tribe put a hit out on me because I abandoned them. And even though Kondo might claim like undying loyalty to you and service to Shizuka, I don't want to test that. It's like, okay, fine. He's like, by the way, why are you coming this way? Like, well, I was gonna go to Inuyama to talk to the Rai so I could conquer or make my claim to it. And I was like, listen, I have all these Otori warriors who realize I'm here and are basically saying, hey, we're gonna help you take out the book. Why don't we use them, take Maruyama, secure Shirakawa, and basically use it as a jumping off point to take over the Otori thing, basically make claims. Like, okay. So they get married, and that's kind of where the story finishes off for now. It'll be continued in book 3, final book of the trilogy, Brilliance of the Moon. I thank you everybody for watching this review. If you like this stuff, please subscribe and hit that notification button. My name is Dan, and I will see you later.